Hi, I'm Scott Francis, editor of Products Finishing. I'm talking today with Collin Peters, North America Business Manager for Atotech. So Collin, what are some trends that you're seeing in manufacturing that are signaling growing opportunities for EN platers?
Oh, sure. I mean, there are many really right now, and a lot of it has to do with the navigation of the automotive supply chains from traditionally internal combustion engines to electric vehicles. And the electrification is creating a lot of opportunities for platers of all sorts, including Electroless Nickel. For some applications that we've commonly done for internal combustion engines, those are going away. But with that is being replaced, at least one-to-one, for the Electroless Nickel platers with new applications related to the battery technology for that.
Can you give some examples of some of those applications that we will see where EN is used?
Well, Electroless Nickel has a long history in thermally conductive applications for all sorts of industries, but this is something that really is playing a key role with automotive moving forward. Electric vehicles, they use IGBTs, which is a switching device that turns the DC current coming from the battery into alternating current that's used to actually drive the motor. These things generate a lot of heat. So these are components that are used to take the heat away from the IGBT to allow that to be more powerful and more efficient. Electroless nickel is very commonly done on aluminum, on copper substrates. These are the thermally conductive substrates that work best for the application. And Electroless Nickel is the technology that works the best to protect those surfaces. So to keep corrosion products off of that surface so they can continue their function. So thermal protection is really important for the Electroless Nickel market moving forward with electric vehicles.
So you recently gave a presentation on reducing carbon footprint in EN applications at the Electroless Nickel Conference. Can you talk a bit about some of the challenges and opportunities there?
Yeah, sure. So carbon footprint is becoming more and more important in the plating industry in general. A lot of the applicators that are doing parts for the, say, the automotive supply chain, for example, are being grouped in and trying to be brought into the fold by their customers to also reduce their carbon footprint. As the tier ones, the OEMs, they're establishing targets for themselves, but also their supply chain for carbon neutrality. The challenge with Electroless Nickel is the nature of what Electroless Nickel is. Which is a plating process which uses heat as a catalyst. So most commonly, Electroless Nickel baths operate at 190 degrees Fahrenheit. So we have to heat the bath up to get it there and then maintain that to keep the reaction going. That's very hot. It's very near boiling. So it's very energy intensive naturally for an Electroless Nickel plating line. But there are opportunities. So for every one of the challenge, there is an opportunity for how do we make the process more efficient. And one of the strategies that I presented at the Electroless Nickel Conference was conserving the heat that's in there. So we're powering the heaters to drive the reaction, to drive the catalyst, and deposit the Electroless Nickel. But at the same time, we're losing that heat to the environment through convection, through conduction, to the parts, the tanks, the air outside of that tank. So I presented some strategies for how do we conserve that? How do we insulate those tanks to keep the heat in that bath? How do we put a cover over that tank to keep it from leaving out into the environment? And even more sophisticated systems like thermal recovery. Electroless Nickel tanks, we have air exhaust over that tank, carrying away even more heat from the solution. That heat can actually be recaptured and used back in the plant. So while it is challenging for an Electroless Nickel plater to meet these targets that they may be getting, if not now, then at least in the future from their customers, there are some relatively easy examples of some positive benefits that they can bring to their carbon supply chain.
Well, Collin, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today. For more on trends in Electroless Nickel, you can visit pfonline.com. Thanks a lot.